Welcome back to the SA Sports Show, back down here at 24/7 Squash at Tonsley. Today we're going to talk about the importance of core strength. We've got a guy called James Hooper. He's been around the world training UFC fighters, professional surfers, lacrosse players, hockey, football, everything. He's run gyms, he's been around, he's done everything. So, James, we're going to talk about exactly what does core strength mean. To me, it might mean getting a six-pack. To someone else, it might mean someone else. To you, as a professional in the industry, what does that mean, core strength?
So core strength to us, especially when we develop the strength and conditioning in athletes, it could be anything, depending on what sport it is. So it sets the base. It could be dodging, shooting in lacrosse, football. It can help assist with takeoff speed, change of direction, tackling, strength. It can also set the base for all your fitness levels in that as well. So there's quite a variety of what it's good for and what it's used for, and there's different variations for sports and how we can train that. So
core strength will be different, specific to the sport you're playing. So it may not just be around here.
Yep. Correct. So how it kind of works is we work the limbs off all the core strength in that. So whether it's something explosive, whether it's throwing a punch in sport, which needs to be quick and explosive, or it may be wrestling, where it's a lot more stamina, a lot more strong, a lot more power. So judging from the sports and the specifics of it all, that's how we can kind of train them up in different, rep ranges, different styles and different programming. So,
okay. Yep. In squash, core strength is mainly used to prevent injury because of our lunging and twisting and turning.
Yep.
But I've heard you talk about using core strength to really tune athletes to that top level for performance. How does that work differently to injury prevention?
Correct. So the core strength, that'll set the base for everything, as you just said. So anything from dodging, the change of direction, being able to swing the racket harder, also de-acceleration, so chasing the ball, changing direction, takeoff speed, running backwards, everything. So this strength will help the limbs move faster, stronger, quicker, more versatile.
Okay, so that does lift performance, not just prevent injuries.
Correct,
right?
absolutely.
Great. So we've got you to come up with a couple of things today that maybe people may not have been doing these exercises the right way. They may have seen it on TV or on an app or something.
Yep.
So we've got someone here to come in and you can actually run us through what we're looking for when we're trying to do these basic core exercises.
Okay, beautiful. So a lot of the warm-ups that we do, so these exercises we use as a warm-up all the time. So I'll just get you to jump down just into your plank position that you've done, I'm sure, many of times. So what we do with the athletes, we just try and identify the muscles that we're working. So we're basically trying to create the best posture as possible. So for example, we're trying to extend the heels backwards as hard as we can. This will allow the quads to be able to tense. So once we could tense the quads, we can then transfer to the glutes. So if you could tense your glutes as hard as you can. What we then want to do is divert underneath to the abs. So we lock up the abs, and then also we're going to pinch your shoulder blades back nice and tight through your scapula. So just from that, we're just trying to create a nice strong posture. We get the muscles, the anterior and posterior muscles working off each other. And this basically sets it all up to be able to set a base for more performance.
We'll see how long she can stay there for while we keep talking.
Yep.
But it's really good to actually get some of those cues because a lot of people try this at home and they're probably not doing it correctly, myself included.
Yep, correct. So whenever it comes to strength and conditioning, we want to be able to get as much as we can out of each workout. So that means dissecting the movements, dissecting the workouts. We're only in the gym for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, so we do want to get as much as we can from it. Just to increase our performance when it comes to the specifics.
Okay, that's great. Have you got one more for us?
Yep, so what we do, we just turn this now into a little bit of movement. So we're going to get the anterior and the posterior working together. So same position, we're still tensing through the shoulders, so pulling back. So we're going to drop the hips to the ground about a centimetre off, so the chest is up, so the abs are stretched. We're still trying to tense the glutes. Then what we're going to do, we're going to lift the glutes all the way to the roof. As we come up, the glutes will stretch. We're just trying to tense all the way through the abs. So this way we're diverting from the anterior to the posterior, so we're just trying to get the muscles working off each other. So keep in mind we're still trying to keep the heels back, the quads are tensed, and that'll divert through to the glutes.
Okay, that's great. So how much do your average weekend warriors, amateur sports people, how much core strength do these guys actually need to do to see some kind of improvement?
Just for the general athlete, anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week. Exercises like this, you can pick 3 or 4 of them just for 2-3 minutes at a time, so anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. So as I said at the start, anywhere from a warm-up, going into your exercises, into your sports is probably one of the best ways to utilise it.
Okay, that's great. So a little bit of time can make a massive difference.
It definitely can, so keep chipping away.
Great, thanks for coming in today, James. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Ando, every now and then you get a freak, mate. Somewhere where you look at his record and you go, this is unbelievable.
I'm looking and I'm saying it. Unbelievable.
And our next guest, Kevin Ferguson, of course, Ironman at 59 years of age, one of the fittest men in the world, I don't mind saying.
It's
and your
crazy.
record substantiates that, mate. Do you ever get sick of people just going, mate, you're just in unbelievable shape?
Oh, definitely not at my age. I'll lap it up.
You've got to lap it up, yeah. But it is interesting, though. I mean, you're a smoker and a drinker. New Year's Eve came with it. That's it. I'm going to change my lifestyle, and gave that up. Started off doing mini triathlons, and then years later, you've won South Australian Triathlete of the Year. And South Australian Triathlete of the Year.
Yeah.
Hang on. And South Australian Triathlete of the Year. You have won everything. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm surprised, especially smoking for such a long time and drinking, that your body can recover. And to get how far I've gone, it's been 26 years of doing it, but it's quite pleased I changed. It saved my life. If I kept going the way I was with smoking and drinking, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you now telling this story.
Right.
You know, Kevin, though, there's a lot of people talk about sport, be it footy, be it basketball, cricket, the mental toughness to be an elite sports person. For you, firstly, to stop the habit of smoking and drinking, a lot of people can't do that, but then to run, to ride, to swim, for the extended period that you've done it, do you reckon you've improved over time with your mental toughness as well as your understanding where you're at physically?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I thought I was pretty tough when I played footy, especially in the country footy.
Yep.
Some of the sides we played against, Cadell and,
You're tough in those days.
you thought you were pretty fit and being a rover. You got knocked around a fair bit, but this is different, especially the Ironman. You're out there for anywhere between 9.5 to 17 hours. So, and it's times you think, I'm going to pull the pin, but it's surprising what the body can do and get through it.
All right, when you talk about pulling the pin, you haven't done that, mate. You've been in 17 Ironmans, completed every one of them. One even, Ando, we got a puncher and carried the bike to complete the Ironman. So I'm going to just pick them off at random instead of going for year by year, because there's too many. We haven't got enough time to roll it out. But let me take you to 2006. We've decided to do, was it 2006? We decided to do 5 marathons is that right? 5
Ironman. Yeah.
5 Ironman in 9 months. Now, I did a quick sum on that. So, Ando, this is what he's done. He's swum 19 kilometres.
Right.
He's biked 720 and he's run 2,110 kilometres in 9 months. In 5 races. Well, why?
Yeah,
You seem like a smart bloke sitting here to me, Kim, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty silly when I look back now. And the main reason was it came about as my mum lost a battle with cancer, and my dad drowned when he was 55, and 2006 I turned 55. So, and my mum died on the 5th of February, so I'm 5 for 55 was born. So yeah, I thought doing the 5 Ironman, do something passion I've got for, and try and raise needed funds for cancer research in honour of my mum. So that's how it started.
Yep.
And doing the 5 Ironman was actually easy. Raising the 55 was the
hard
hardest
part.
part.
55 grand. Oh, that's a credit. That's brilliant.
Mate, I'm watching you tear up a little bit when you talk about your mum and that process you've gone through, and outstandingly well done on that. Were there times during the race when you were thinking about your mum, or you just focused and that doesn't drift in?
Oh no, definitely. Ironman, you're out there for a long time and it hurts. So you draw on things that help you get through it, and then definitely the spirit of mum helped me get through those tougher ones. And I don't want to see anyone suffer the way my mum did in cancer. So the more we can get out there and raise money, and that's the main reason to doing that.
What about your body, though? I mean, you were talking a lot of kilometres, swim, ride, running for a long period of time at an elite level. How's your body been handling it?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, especially playing footy for such a long time, your joints get knocked around.
Yeah.
And I was lucky with football. And I think as you get older, you get smarter with your training as well.
Yep.
So I've looked after my body over the years, and touch wood, I've been pretty lucky. It's mainly accidents, not overuse injuries that I've had. So yeah, I've survived.
So you're finding you're improving as well. I mean, like your times, is that because of your smarts?
I think so. I mean, obviously the run's the one that slows you down as you get older, but you can improve your swim, and I've improved my bike. It's been...
It's really important, that, because you get to your 40, 45 and you think, well, I'm not going to be improving because apparently you're only good up to your 32. But it's fantastic to hear that you can take up a sport at a bit of an older age and 20 years down the track, you're still improving and still, bettering your times, which is always a challenge and something
What
you
was
want
the
to do as
movie?
an
There was a
athlete.
movie out about a bloke that Button something was it that aged quickly. But,
Yeah, that's right.
So we're looking at him right now, mate. He
Well,
gets
look,
older,
we
and
are
just keeps
too.
going
We're
better, mate.
pretty
I
good.
don't want the cigarette. actually.
I'm trying to move closer to you, actually.
It's embarrassing. I'm glad he's far away from me, to tell you the truth. Hey, 2004 is your first Ironman.
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
I certainly do. Unfortunately, I had a whitewater quaking incident beforehand and I had a severe prolapse in my disc, so I was in a neck brace 3 months out before Hawaii, and I wasn't going to do it, but you pay a lot of money and qualify, so I went over there and had a crack, and I think it was around about 80 k's, 90 k's into the bike, coming back into the headwind, and my neck was just giving me too much grief, and I thought, oh, that's it, this is it, pull the pin, and stopped, got off the bike, and they have what they call a sag wagon that comes and picks up people that have mechanical issues or problems, and I was waiting out in the lava fields there, and it's bloody hot, and there's no sag wagon, so I thought I'd start walking. I could see some trees up further, and must have been a mirage, I don't know, but I didn't seem to be getting closer, so I decided to get back on my bike.
Bottles of Coke hanging on the tree.
And started riding again, and next minute, a few people started passing me. I thought, I don't like that, so started to pick it up again, and before I know it, I'm back racing again, and so the body can sort of get over that initial pain and put things behind you and keep going.
The toughest event? What is the toughest event? I mean, you've gone around the world. What's the toughest one?
Definitely Hawaii. Hawaii can throw some nasty stuff at you. That lava, it's not a pretty course. It's just all lava on the bike.
Yeah,
And
so it's just head down.
Yeah, and you get, as I said before, you get a headwind going out, and the lava heats up, and then you get a headwind coming back, and some of them winds can be up to 50 kilometres an hour and gusting, so it's pretty insane.
That's tough conditions to ride.
Yeah. You have one section there where you have a tailwind, you're doing around about 50 to 60 kilometres an hour, and then you hit the headwind, you're back down to 20, 25 kilometres an hour. That's the difference.
So Yando and I get up in the morning. If it's windy, we don't bikes in the shed, mate, and get in the car. Kev, you're up to Cairns this weekend. How are you feeling?
Again, I said all my injuries have been accidents. So I had an accident beginning of March where I fractured my sacrum and my coccyx. So I've only been back training for 4 weeks, going up there with no expectations and
Low on the line.
See what happens. So I'm just happy to be out here, walking and training again. So it's good.
Was that a fall? Like, is it when you?
Yeah, we had a group of us
bike-wise?
group has come down, single file, going through a roundabout, and unfortunately, So
Hey, Kev, we've got to go, but we want to get you back in after you come back from Cairns, mate. I want to hear about it, and a couple more questions we'd like to pose at you, mate. Really appreciate your time coming in on the back of you, trying to get up at 4:30 in the morning, work, look after 2 kids, and train. I want to find about swimming with the sharks and crocodiles at Palm Cove. Stay with us. Still more to come on the show. Kevin Ferguson, our special guest.